The taxi driver is angry and he drove the car and hit the guy and he fell back.
A deadly attack caught on camera. Police in Brampton believe a man was intentionally run over and killed on Christmas Day. Neighbors say it started with an argument and ended with one person dead. Lisa Shing is in Brampton near Sandalwood and Torbram where this occurred last night. And Lisa, police have already made an arrest.
Dwight, police say they've arrested a 53-year-old man. He's facing a second-degree murder charge and will appear in a Brampton courthouse tomorrow. Now, the hit and run happened right in front of this house where some of the neighbors saw it on security footage, and a warning to some of our viewers, you may find that footage graphic. Graphic security video circulating online seems to show an intentional hit and run. The driver of a taxi and a man appearing to argue. Moments later, the car runs the man down, backs up, then drives off. Another angle from a home across the street shows neighbors coming out and paramedics and police arriving. Other residents on this North Brampton street also saw it unfold on their own security cameras late on Christmas Day.
Taxi driver is angry and he drove the car and hit the guy and he fell back and he drove and backed the car and run away. Then my son is coming out and my wife is coming out and they call the police.
Peel police got the call just before 11 p.m. last night. They say paramedics took the man to hospital where he died. No one in the neighborhood we spoke with seems to know who the man was, but they're all shaken up.
This is really bad for us. We celebrate the Christmas with the family, you know, we sit in the home. Really, really, really very bad.
To me, when stuff had happened right in the neighborhood, it extracts away from the true meaning of Christmas and what's it all about. And I have 3 kids here. I got, my children are here, and it doesn't sit too well for me, frankly, to know that, when they walk out from a front step, they walk into a crime scene like this.
Police are calling it a homicide. They say they have the vehicle and they've arrested a suspect.
I can only imagine what the community is feeling, but at this time I'm confident in saying that there is no risk to the public. This seems to be an isolated incident.
Now, Dwight, police also say they know the identity of the victim, but are not giving out that information yet. We do know he was 51 years old.
Tragic story there. Thank you for that, Lisa. And one person is seriously injured after a Christmas Day shooting in Regent Park. Police say a man was shot in his arm and chest near Dundas and Sackville. He was rushed to hospital around 11 last night. Officers are searching for suspects but say they have no description to release at this time. And nearby in Moss Park, a 2-alarm fire sent one person to hospital with critical injuries this morning. It happened around 8 at a Toronto community housing building on Shooter Street. Firefighters were called for flames on the 3rd floor of the high-rise. They found a person inside the building in critical condition. Investigators are now looking into what may have caused the blaze. And police continue to investigate after a woman's body was found inside a burning dumpster on Christmas Eve. It happened just before 4 in the afternoon near Keele and Finch. Police say the death is being treated as suspicious. Homicide detectives have been called in. An emotional reunion at Pearson Airport for a married couple who in the past have been unable to spend Christmas together. We'll tell you why a little later in the show. The malls were busy and chaotic today with shoppers trying to score those Boxing Day deals.
We knew the shopping mall was open at 7, so we woke up at 6 to be here at 7.
All the good stuff's gonna get taken before lunchtime, and there's a couple of stores I want to go to, so I woke up early with my friend and we came shopping.
I was up at 3 a.m. and I couldn't sleep after cleaning up the kitchen, which took about 10 hours.
We got the more for less.
Early birds get the deal. If you haven't been to the mall yet and want to cash in on some of those deals, don't worry, there's still time. Most malls have extended hours today. Now, it may be the end of December, but it doesn't feel like that outside.
We play year-round, and so we're usually used to some snow, but anytime you can actually play on the raw turf and there's no snow and the weather's like this, it's always makes it a little bit more palatable for sure.
It's just like a good way to, like, because last night, Christmas night, kind of a crazy night, so like kind of a way to like sweat everything off, It's kind of nice because then like I can go outside and like and be more active than I normally am on Christmas, but it was kind of weird though because like I'm not used to it like being. Like it's not really warm, but like I'm not used to it being this warm on Christmas. But it's a nice change of scenery.
Yeah, you'll take it when you can get it, for sure, and you just hope it's not a symptom of a bigger problem coming down the pipeline.
They love the mild temperatures. They like getting nice and dirty and playing in the mud. Yeah.
Yeah, we're running around outside, which is great. I'm originally from Australia, so warmer the better for Christmas for me. I'm gonna have to bust out the shorts maybe, give it a go.
I wouldn't go that far. Today's unusually mild weather is a welcome break for some who enjoy the outdoor activities like flag football. And if you don't feel like running around after that big meal yesterday, you can spend some time at the High Park Zoo. No matter what you felt like doing today, one thing is for sure, people are taking advantage of the green Christmas time, whether enjoying the milder temps by spending it outdoors. See, we're not even complaining about the green Christmas anymore, Nick.
No, you know what? You're right, Dwight. Actually, I went for a run today, post-Christmas, and I'll tell you what, I felt like I was carrying an extra few pounds with me there.
Yeah, I think we packed on a little bit.
It was a lot harder than I remembered it 2 days ago. Let me just say that. But it was a beautiful day out there today. Not a record. Today, actually, sitting around 3 degrees, so nowhere near the record. That being said, though, tomorrow, we're headed into the double digits. I don't think tomorrow's going to be a record, but we're going to come close to that. And in any case, it's well above the seasonal mark. So here's a look at your weather headlines, and then we'll get into the details of the forecast. Double-digit highs in the forecast as we head through tomorrow, at least. The weekend, it looks like the wet weather's going to keep temperatures into the single digits. Up and down, though, in terms of the temperatures, so they kind of dip again in a couple days and then pick up again as we head in toward the end of the weekend. And a wet Sunday in store. And in fact, it's not just a wet Sunday, but a wet Monday in store as well. Now, we're going to get to all of that in just a second. Let me put things in perspective here. So we're talking about temperatures. Today, we hit 3 degrees. The average high is about minus 0.6, so call it -1. That's the average high. We hit 3 degrees today. The average low, minus 8.5. There's a look at some of the records that we've had on the high and low side, and of course the snow as well. So keep those numbers in mind, -1 and -9, as I show you the forecast here in just a second. Today we hit 3 degrees, but look at Windsor. 11 degrees today in Windsor, and that's where they're sitting right now. This warm air is pushing into the GTA. So what that means is that through the overnight period, we're actually going to see temperatures rising. So it's sort of an inverted temperature trend. It comes with cloud cover. Now, we've had a little bit of on and off light drizzle through the day today. That's going to stick around through tonight. And in fact, because of that drizzle continuing through the overnight and some humidity starting to move in, we're going to see some fog patches around the GTA through the overnight period. Cloud cover is going to stick around as well for tonight and into tomorrow. There's a look at that sort of patchy drizzle. Same story for tomorrow morning as well. But into the afternoon, round about 11, noon, 1 o'clock, I think we're going to see a few sunny breaks in here, and that's what is going to help the temperature sort of pop into the double digits for tomorrow afternoon. On and off cloud cover through the afternoon, and then Saturday looks pretty sunny, but we are watching a system move in for Sunday. Forecast-wise for tonight, down to temperatures of about 4 degrees, rather. That was a mistake there. Temperatures around 4 degrees and then climbing through the overnight period. 11 for tomorrow afternoon. Morning drizzle, though, in the forecast for us. And then as we move through the next 5 days, it looks like this. 11 for tomorrow. Again, not a record. The record sits around 14 degrees, but still pretty good. 3 degrees as we head through Saturday. And then Sunday and Monday, a system moves in around late Sunday morning, and it lasts on and off till Monday. Could see about 15 to 25 millimeters of rain with that. And flurries, see, this is the roller coaster ride I was talking about. Flurries for New Year's Eve. Dwight.
Thanks, Nick.
You bet.
Take a look around Toronto's downtown. It's easy to see construction here is booming, but the president of the Toronto's Carpenters Union says with hundreds of workers retiring every year, more young people are needed. Shannon Martin has more on how they are hoping to fill the gap.
From way, way up, you see the sheer size At 3 million square feet, the well is one of Toronto's largest construction sites. Stephanie Carreri and Godwin Adaban are just two of the hundreds of workers on the job here every day.
I cut, I measure, I hammer, whatever they need done is what I do.
I come here in the morning and like I'm busy doing something with my hands and stuff. It's exactly what I like. So I like so far so good. Yeah, I like it. I like what I'm doing now.
That's welcome news to this crew. They say skilled workers in Toronto are desperately needed.
Our industry is booming, whether it's in condominium development, we're building 20, 30,000 condos a year, or in this area such as the Well, largest mixed-use project in Canada, the Eglinton Crosstown. Concrete forming is such a in-demand skill, and we just don't have enough workers.
This over here is our mass timber area.
That's where Christina Selva comes in.
Shannon, well, welcome to the training center, to the College of Carpenters and Allied Trades. What you're seeing over here is our current formwork class, which we offer as a pre-apprenticeship program to people that are just looking to come into the trade but have no necessarily or very little relevant experience.
It's a 7-week intensive course designed to open doors to get more diversity into the industry.
It's our responsibility as a union, as a school, as a city, as a province to help people that otherwise do not have an opportunity at bettering their lives. And bettering your life means more than just a job. It means being afforded an opportunity to start working towards your career.
Warren Owl says he never pictured himself in construction, but now he finally feels like he's found a career.
I'll eventually like to take my skills, what I learned, go back home and help build up my community that way. But these skills are great to have.
Shannon Martin, CBC News, Toronto.
Yes, they are. The World Junior Hockey Tournament kicked off this morning in the Czech Republic. Team Canada was in tough in their opener after a 6th-place finish last year. They didn't get a favorable seed this year, forcing them to face their rivals, the U.S., on day one. Greg Ross caught up with some excited fans this afternoon.
For many hockey fans, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
That's right, every year, yes.
You come just to watch Canada?
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of a tradition to watch Canada every year on Boxing Day.
And Team Canada didn't disappoint in their tournament opener against the U.S., despite giving fans an early scare.
How
nervous were you when they were down 2-0 in the first?
Very nervous, very, very nervous. Had to have another drink.
After giving up 2 goals in the first, Canada stormed back in the second with 3 goals of their own and would fend off a late push by the Americans to win by a final of 6-4.
It's really nice watching us come back and bring it back all together for the end.
The win provided just the right amount of holiday excitement for Vanessa Williamson and Rhonda Rankin, who watched the game at Wayne Gretzky's.
This is the game of the tournament for us.
They've made it an annual tradition to get together and watch Canada and the U.S. square off at the World Juniors.
Every year we block it in our calendar. We pick a bar to watch it at.
We both love hockey. We both love sports. We were university dorm mates.
Although they admit it was a little strange to see these two favorites meet this early in the tournament. They say it would be better to see Canada face the U.S. when the stakes are higher.
It's not enough on the line yet. I'd like to see it when it's a little tighter and we can see who's going to get in the finals.
But Canadian fans couldn't complain about the outcome. Canada is back in action on Friday when they face another tough test and another rival in the Russians. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
If my mom chose to live for me, then now I have to choose to live for my mother.
From drugs to drag, we'll bring you the story of this drag queen and how performing saved his life. That story after the break.
The weather update is brought to you by Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. It's hard to stop a train.
From drug addiction to drag, a Windsor man turned his life around within 1 year. He says he uses drag as an escape from reality, and now he wants to do it professionally. Tamina Aziz has his story.
Hi, my name is Liam Ingram, otherwise known as Benz Manova, and I'm a Windsor-based drag queen.
At 21, Liam knows he wants to tour the world, performing as a professional drag queen. But that wasn't the case a year and a half ago. He was struggling with his drug addiction to crystal meth.
I was this goody two-shoes kid in grade school saying, I'll never touch weed, or I'll not, like, people who smoke weed are lowlives, or all that sort of stuff, like very ignorant to it, to now being a full-on drug addict, needle user, that's scavenging the streets and meeting up with random men online to get a quick fix or to feel good about myself.
After smoking and snorting crystal meth for months, Liam injected himself with a needle that was given to him by a stranger he met online, later finding out that he contracted HIV from it.
When I found out he was HIV positive, I thought it was a death sentence.
It was difficult for his mom to watch him at his lowest point, one weekend in Toronto when he began selling his body for drugs.
Next morning, he came downstairs and I said, "Who are you? I don't even know who you are. Somewhere inside of that man is my son, and I want you to tell that son of mine I refuse to bury him." And I gave him an ultimatum and told him that if he was going to continue to do the drugs, he'd have to pack his bags and move out or seek help.
Liam says it was that moment when he knew he needed to change. His mother is the closest person to him. He nearly lost her at the age of 3 from a car accident, but says she fought to stay alive for him.
If my mom chose to live for me, then now I have to choose to live for my mother.
He agreed to go to rehab and was admitted to Brentwood Recovery Home for a 3-month treatment program. A month after his program ended, he attended his first live drag show in Windsor, inspiring him to try drag himself. And what does drag mean to you?
Drag is an expression of yourself that reality can't really meet. So I can be anyone that I want to be at any time.
Liam's done drag for about 7 months. He continues to perfect his look, develop his skills, and perform as often as he can. His mom says she's proud of him and supports him.
These tears are tears of joy, really, because I love him.
Among his accomplishments, he's also 16 months sober, and with his HIV medication, he's now at undetectable levels. Now he's ready to show the world who Benz Manova is. Tamina Aziz, CBC News, Windsor.
He's from Rwanda, she's from Canada, and they've been together for 4 years, but they've never been able to spend a Christmas together until now. Shanifa Nasser has more on the couple's emotional reunion.
Emily Nope never once questioned if it was worth it. Ben Tuyisenge didn't either. Despite being more than 11,000 kilometers apart, the couple knew almost from the start they had to be together. The question was, how?
Even though it seems crazy because we were from 2 different countries and what felt like 2 different worlds, but yeah, we decided that we were so connected instantly, and we decided to go for it and try a long-distance relationship.
For the next year, Nope would fly to Rwanda every chance she had. But when it came to Tuyisenge coming to Canada on a visitor's visa, the Canadian government said that wasn't an option. Among the reasons, his lack of family ties in Rwanda. Tuyisenge had lost almost his entire family during the genocide in 1994.
You blame yourself. You think like, oh, okay, so maybe I'm not worth like living, which was like really heartbreaking.
They tried in 2017 to no avail. In 2018, the pair got married in Rwanda, but Tuyisenge's application was rejected again. All the while, they tried not to lose hope. Then, in November, the news that would change their lives forever. Tuyisenge was finally approved for permanent residency. The couple would get to spend a Christmas together for the first time in their 4-year relationship. On December 21st, just in time for the holidays, Tuyisenge arrived at Toronto's Pearson Airport after a 21-hour flight. Nope's entire family was there to greet him, cheering and tearful. And as he walked through the arrivals gate, one thought occurred to him.
this looks like family, like this is what like family does. So even though that are like maybe like my family like passed away, but then I still have like another family.
Through it all, Nope says she's learned a lot about patience, love, and what matters most.
He, to me, has always been worth it.
And for Ben, it's a chance at a family he never got to have. Shanifa Nasser, CBC News, Toronto.
Nice story. In Berlin today, 200 people found a creative way to burn off those Christmas calories. They took part in the 21st annual Roast Goose Digestion Run to reward themselves for their energy and good intentions. Participants took a mid-run break for cookies and cake. I think that defeats the purpose, but hey, no use going cold turkey after all.
There are many parents spending their holidays at the neonatal intensive care unit, hoping for the best for their premature babies. I'm Talia Ricci, and coming up, we meet a mother who knows what they're going through and is trying to make their days here brighter.
A few of North York General's tiniest patients got a special delivery today. Holiday hampers were delivered to the neonatal intensive care unit. Now, the gifts were not just for the little babies, but for the parents too. As Talia Ritchie reports, the woman who started it wanted to give back at a hospital she spent time in herself.
This is for you guys.
Sherry Cohen knows exactly what premature babies and their parents need because she's been in their shoes.
We spent 3 weeks in the NICU with my surviving son because we lost his twin brother. And so I just reached out to my mama community, and it just was overwhelming in terms of the response.
She gathered 25 hampers worth of gifts for the tiny patients, their moms and dads, and even kept the older siblings in mind.
It's very lonely and exhausting and grueling time. I think there are so many unknowns. I mean, most times you end up with a preemie or a baby in the NICU because there is something wrong and you're not sure perhaps what the problem is.
She was born at 32 weeks. She came 2 months early, surprised us.
Baby Kalia was born just 3 pounds. She's getting bigger, stronger, and learning how to eat on her own. But there's been challenges along the way.
It's definitely tough not knowing what journey we're going to go through, being that she's so early. We didn't know if there was going to be any other issues that came up.
When you're expecting a child, TV and the media sort of romanticizes it. Like, you get a baby, everything's happy, you go home, and it's like this great quick journey. And I think it doesn't really hit home until you don't actually get to go home.
Cohen hopes these gifts make the hospital holiday setting a little brighter for these families.
It just makes me really solidly happy. I've got a little guy at home who's 3.5 years old, and it's because of him that I'm now paying it forward. This is really just meant to give them a little bit of love and joy and cheer over the holidays.
This is exactly what I need.
Love that this family is definitely feeling.
It's such a new experience, and to find preemie clothes, to find preemie diapers, to find resources for someone this small, feels impossible, and it's hard to just even look up stuff online. So this couldn't have come at a better time.
To have wonderful people who have, had a life experience and then want to make a change in the world to be better, it's such a warm feeling. It sort of tingles you.
Talia Ritchie, CBC News, Toronto.
Don't you just love it when people pay it forward like that? That's it for our show tonight. Thank you for watching. My friend Mac Nagabasalassi has you covered tonight at 11. We'll leave you with more shots of what some people did today, outside enjoying the weather like this little cutie. I'll see you back here tomorrow. This looks like the Hyde Park Zoo.